He's stupid. He's dumb. You can't fix dumb people.
UFC featherweight Bryce Mitchell started a new podcast, Arkansanity, play on words. He's from Arkansas. It's called Arkansanity. He's only had one episode, and already in episode 1, just after releasing it, he's caused a major stir. Some of the things he said was, I honestly think Hitler was a good guy. He fought for his country, wanted to purify it by kicking out the greedy Jews that were destroying his country and were turning them all into gays. So that caused a lot of people to criticize him on social media, and word got back to Dana White about it. And Dana wasn't happy about the situation. He addressed it at the post-Power Slap conference.
So before we get started here, let me get some fucking dumb shit out of the way first here. I'm out here have fun doing Power Slap tonight. And I'm sure you guys heard what Bryce Mitchell said. If you haven't, he said some I've heard a lot of dumb, ignorant shit in my day, but this one's probably the worst. When you talk about Hitler, he's responsible for the death of 6 million Jews, and he tried to completely eliminate a race of people. World War II was the deadliest war in history. 15 million military deaths, 45 million civilians, and 25 million soldiers were killed in World War II. Second of all, Hitler is one of the most disgusting and evil human beings to ever walk the face of the earth, and anyone that even tries to take an opposing position is a moron. That's the problem with the internet and social media. You provide a platform for a lot of dumb, ignorant people. We've obviously reached out to Bryce, and when we read what he said and let him know how we feel about it, we're beyond disgusted. So, for those of you that don't know what's going on, good, you're lucky. For those of you that do, that's what I have to say about it.
Some people want some sort of punishment or fine to be delivered to Bryce Mitchell, but Dana White's not going to do that, although he may disagree with some things that his fighters say. He doesn't infringe upon their right to say it.
Who's got the first question?
Hey, Dana.
Hey.
It's obviously not a fun topic to talk about, the Bryce stuff. I think that's a great statement that you just gave. Does Bryce Mitchell face a punishment from the UFC for saying
That's what everybody wants to hear about punishment. It's free speech. I don't have to love it. You don't have to love it. You know.
I agree with that, the free speech sentiment. Is there a concern, though, right, if he goes out and wins a fight and gets a mic?
Well, that's the beautiful thing about this business. For all of you that hate Bryce Mitchell, you get to see him hopefully get his ass whooped on global television. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? You know where I am with free speech? We're disgusted by it. I think he's probably one of the dumbest, literally one of the dumbest human beings. Let's not forget that this is a guy who took a drill through his nutsack, then had to reverse it and put the drill back out of his. That's the level of stupid that we're talking about here. And I could probably go on for 10 minutes talking about how dumb Bryce Mitchell is. But guess what? Bryce Mitchell has a podcast.
I believe this was episode 1.
Okay, what a way to start. But that's the world that we live in now. Dumb people who are really stupid and really ignorant can have a voice. We don't have to agree with it. We don't have to like it. I'm giving you mine and the UFC's position on what he had to say. You know, and this is no different than things that I've said about Strickland, you know? But I will say this, out of all the dumb, ignorant shit I've heard in my life, this has to be the dumbest and most ignorant.
When you spoke to Bryce about it and said, this is disgusting, did he have any sort of like, oh, I was just talking, or did he walk it back at all?
His thing was, I'm sorry if I put you guys in any position, and, you know.
But not sorry for saying.
He's stupid. He's dumb. You can't fix dumb people. You know what I mean? When you have somebody that's really, really stupid, and that's who we're talking about here, what do you do? How do you talk sense to a dummy? You don't.
Ariel Helwani was happy with Dana White's response. A swift and stern and definitive response from Dana White. Much appreciated. Jake Shields on this says, almost every MMA journalist calling for Bryce Mitchell to be fired over his comments. These are the same dorks who wore masks and were angry when the UFC was doing shows during COVID. Dana White stands with free speech. You don't have to agree with what Bryce says, but he has every right to say it.
And will anything change now with your new role in the Meta group?
As far as me being on the board of Meta, yeah, I'm a lot busier. I've been doing work already on the Meta board, but then as soon as I get back is my first live 2-day board meeting. So
Dana White was also asked his thoughts on the Global Fight League, the GFL.
Do you see them at all as a competitor, or do you think this is just basically smoke, blowing smoke?
No, I don't think it's blowing smoke. I think these guys are blowing real cash. I mean, these guys are throwing a lot of money around, and I love it. Good for the fighters. It's good for them, and I don't know anything about his business plan or what the deal is, but no, I don't consider any combat sports my competition. My competition is the NFL, college football, soccer, big movies that come out on Saturday. I don't look at other combat sports and look at them as competitors.
Dana White was asked about former number 6 ranked flyweight Muhammad Mokaev, but it doesn't sound like he's going to be back in the UFC anytime soon.
Muhammad Mokaev was here. He was here as a fan of Power Slap. Did you have any conversation with him, and do you accept that there's a possibility that he might come back to UFC at some point?
Yeah, no, I didn't see him. I didn't see him or talk to him. Yeah, listen, I thought I made that pretty clear. Sean, Hunter, and Mick did not like working with him, and they did not want to re-sign him. He's a free agent. I mean, he could be a world champion somewhere else, and maybe they'll like him better than Sean, Mick, and Hunter do. Yeah.
Dana White was also asked about Islam Makhachev and him jumping to different weight classes.
Islam Makhachev has stated that if you give him the opportunity, he'll go up to middleweight and fight the champ Dricus du Plessis. Would you give him that chance to move up and fight that champ?
He would move up to middleweight?
Fight the middleweight champ.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Listen, if he wants to move up to 170, we can talk. Moving up to 185 is a whole nother level.
When Arman wasn't able to fight in LA, you said that he's not going to be the next contender. He's not going to be the one fighting for the belt next. However, he's still in the first position. It seems as though he is a clear contender, and there's nobody else who's clearer than him. So can we say that the fact that he wasn't able to fight got you angry or got the UFC upset? Because nobody's protected from that. Anybody could have an injury and fall off the last day. So
I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there about this. You'll just have to watch and see how this plays out.